The year is 1995, and you're an American Sonic fan. You explored every last inch of all the Blue Hedgehog's Genesis games. You look into the starry night sky and see a Sega Saturn on the horizon. There's no doubt in your mind that Sonic will be on the Saturn as well, and you can't wait. Son of a... Plenty of us know the story by now. Sonic X-treme is going to be Sonic's leap into 3D platforming on the Saturn. The development quickly went to hell, and the game was officially cancelled in 1997. If you want more details on how badly X-treme flopped, I've linked a video in the description. Regardless, the Saturn's chances at retail were hit hard by the lack of an original Sonic game. And before you say anything, no. Ports, weird racing games, and interactive hub worlds do not count. Fast forward to today, and the Sonic franchise is now mostly known for two things. The first is that the games are a mixed bag in terms of quality. I can name a glaring flaw for pretty much every mainline Sonic game. Labyrinth Zone, Metropolis Act 3, the US Game Over music, the Barrel of Doom, isometrics, the camera again, fake longevity again, glitch to all hell, the Werehog, filler stages, too short, 2-minute gimmicks.
Actually, I had no problem with that one.
Terrible level design, pinball. Oh, okay, maybe some of those were nitpicks. The other thing Sonic is known for is having a large and dedicated fan base, often to a fault. Everyone has their own opinions, and this has led to fans being divided on and starting arguments about the most minor of things. Not all Sonic fans are like this, obviously. It's a case of a few bad Eggmen spoiling the bunch. I'm sure it's another way for them to express themselves. This is one of the best ways to do so. Sonic Robo Blast 2, SRB2 for short, is a fan game made on, of all things, a heavily modified version of the Doom engine. It's a 3D platformer with gameplay mirroring that of Sonic on the Genesis, with plenty of new additions to keep things fresh. And I love it. As for why most of this footage you're seeing is in first person, that is how I play. I grew up playing first person shooters, sue me. SRB2 also has a very long history, stretching all the way back to 1998. This game has existed longer than most of its players have, and that includes me. But let's get to the point. SRB2 looks and plays like a Sonic game for the Saturn that we never got. That's not just my opinion. Look at this screenshot of an article from a dev website. SRB2 wasn't directly inspired by X-treme, despite what this article says. There aren't really any elements shared between the two besides both of them being 3D and using the Genesis style of gameplay. Probably for the best. Could you imagine playing this game with a fisheye perspective? But it gives us what Sonic X-treme could have been if it had ever come out. A 3D Sonic game in the Genesis style. And remember, this is fan-made. The Sonic fan community has a seemingly endless supply of talent, churning out quality fan games as well as modifications to Sega's own. The Sonic Amateur Games Expo, or SAGE, is one of the best examples of this, showcasing what the Sonic community is working on as well as being a gateway for indie developers to enter the mainstream. Pizza Tower was first introduced with a demo at SAGE 2019, and I keep seeing it in Discord. I can't escape it! The best part about Sonic fan games though is that Sega wholeheartedly supports them. As long as you're not trying to make money off of them, they won't send a team of angry lawyers after you. They've even hired fans to work on official projects such as Sonic Mania. Now if only other video game companies had similar policies. Yeah, we're going there. Nintendo is infamous for sending copyright takedowns towards fan game creators. One of their worst cases of this was when they shut down another Metroid 2 remake, or AM2R, shortly after it was released in 2016. At the time, there was no official remake of Metroid 2, which was a Game Boy game and therefore desperately needed one, so the fans stepped in to do it themselves. No one knew at the time that Nintendo had been working on their own remake of Metroid 2, Metroid Samus Returns, since 2015. They probably didn't want AM2R stuffing out potential sales, and I just mentioned money as a motivator, so this will not end well. See, the problem with this business strategy is that it doesn't stop fan games from circulating, since you can still find AM2R on the internet and it still received updates even after it got DMCA'd. So Nintendo's attempt to remove its competition was pointless. In fact, it was more than pointless because it heavily backfired. Samus Returns wouldn't be revealed until 2017, and the AM2R debacle happened at the same time Metroid Prime Federation Force came out.
You serious?
The fan backlash was insane. No one liked or wanted Federation Force. The fans wanted what AM2R was giving them, and Nintendo tried to take it from them. Let's calm down a bit. The thing about fan games is that they are made with genuine love for the series they're based on. Fans work on them during their spare time, and they can't make a dime off of them. This means that every fan game is a passion project where the creators put their heart and soul into crafting the best experience they can. Sonic Robo Blast 2 and AM2R are as well known and popular as they are because their developers carefully studied the source material. They didn't just copy it, they added their own touches and details, and the results speak for themselves. And fan games don't necessarily take away value from official products either. Since they're free by necessity, they can serve as introductions to a franchise that someone might not otherwise be interested in. I know I wasn't interested in Mega Man until I played Mega Man 8-Bit Deathmatch, and I am now a proud owner of both legacy collections. Communities for fan creations will frequently tout their support for the company that inspired them. There's a reason every episode of Dragon Ball Z Abridged starts with a disclaimer saying, "Please support the official release." Now, I've seen some people say Nintendo only sends their lawyers after fan games that redding game sales, and I can see that it is completely within Nintendo's intellectual property rights to do so. However, there's a whole host of fan games that cover certain niches Nintendo either cannot fill or are unwilling to do so. These types of fan games range from a Pokemon MMO to a Mario Maker style level editor for The Legend of Zelda. They may use Nintendo's franchises, but I don't believe they threaten the company's bottom line because they function differently from any official games. A Pokemon MMO would resemble a standard dual-release Pokemon game at first glance, but you find so many changes under the hood due to the change in genre. But even fan games that do step on Nintendo's toes like AM2R are different enough from their official equivalents that they're not outright copies. Compare footage of AM2R with Metroid Samus Returns and you'll figure that out just from the number of dimensions they use. Guess what happened to those fan games anyway? Nintendo should not shut down fan games. They have nothing to gain by doing so, and in the process they lose the one thing more important than their sales numbers: their reputation. Sega may have lost to Nintendo in the console wars, but their symbiotic relationship with their fanbase proves that Sega still does what Nintendo don't. The differing treatment of Sonic Robo Blast 2 and AM2R serves as proof. Nintendo tried to sue AM2R out of existence. Sega allowed IDW to put the iconic red house from SRB2's first zone in the 30th anniversary comic. I rest my case.